All right.
Hello, Liam.
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good.
Good,
Liam.
good.
This is I've never heard it before, the album director's track.
Yes, yes.
Taking much inspiration from the Cannibal the Musical director's track.
And all the extra bonuses of every DVD that has these kinds of things, yes.
Yes. So we are drinking. There is no drinking. Oh, drinking game.
Drinking.
Every time I change keys or time signature, we're going to take a drink.
Okay.
So this song, New Direction,
Mm-hmm.
it's named, obviously, just because it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Van Halen's least popular album, 3, with Gary Sharon. The opening song is an instrumental called New World. And since this is an instrumental, and New Direction is just fun to say.
Yeah. It was fun because I think you asked me, you said, hey, what do you think? I'm thinking about an intro. Can you play a little piano on it?
Yes.
And I said, yeah, I'll try and see what I can come up with.
So Liam played piano, and now it's over. We've already
talked right
past
through
that.
But cheers to you, by the way.
Cheers to you. I'm going to have a drink.
All right, have a drink.
To the album.
I think this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that we've sat here and listened to the entire album.
Yes.
Together in the same room.
Correct.
And commented on it. I think we've had plenty of time, obviously, listening to the songs while we're mixing and such.
Yes, we've heard these songs 10,000 times.
In the car and wherever else we can find a place to see how the mix sounds in its environment.
And now we're enjoying it for what it is and telling stories.
Yes.
There's many songs on this album that come from the last 20 years of my life, and I guess half the album is pretty old and half of it was written when we started 4 years ago. And then the intervening years. The most recent song was finished 2 months ago, or 2 weeks ago, or whenever.
Which song was that?
Pretty recent. That was Throwing Shade.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We almost finished at 14 songs, and we jammed that last one in. I'm like, give me an hour, 1 track guitar, 1 track.
That's right. That's right.
Today, I remember sitting at my kitchen table writing today. Today came together very quickly.
What time period?
This would have been... So this all started, I wanted a Les Paul. I bought a Les Paul on the condition I recorded an album. So for Christmas 2012, I bought a Les Paul off eBay.
The blue one?
The black one.
The black one.
And started working on piecing old songs together and writing new songs. We started recording in March of 2013, so 3 months from when I got the Les Paul to when we started recording, I wrote the song in there. So this is one of the new batches. Not just all the songs before that were songs I wrote for me for fun.
Okay.
Knowing no band I was going to be in wanted the drummer songs and whatnot. So
is this the part of the group that you sent me? I think it was like stuff you recorded on your iPad. And you sent me a bunch of. I kind of vaguely remember that. Yes,
and this one was named. All the lyrics were done when we first started tracking. This song hasn't changed much since then.
This is actually this song when you were first. I think the first I heard it was you were just doing the drums.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, all right. I didn't really know much about it, and then just obviously just listening to drums. I was like, okay, interesting. And then you laid the guitars on there. And then you laid the vocal on, and I think the first kind of rough mix we listened to, I had listened to it in the car. I was like, "Holy crap!" It's like it was great. It was really cool to watch a song, not know what it was like ahead of time. And I feel like
you're getting quiet.
I'm getting quiet. I wonder if it's my dimmerfludge.
Dimmerfludge.
Give me there. Come here, you. There we go.
That's nice.
Yeah, I need a new interface. And just how big it sounded. Like I was listening to it, and when the verse comes in, I was like, wow, this is big. This is huge.
This was the first song I did vocals on when we recorded, and I was not prepared. I was not confident. I was nervous as hell. And we kept those verses. We redid, one of the last bit of vocals we did was redoing the choruses a couple months ago, but the verses are the original verses.
Yeah, it's true.
And the song's over.
Yeah. That's the problem. The songs are not long enough for the stories that go along with them.
Life Goes On.
Life Goes On.
Life Goes On is my song about being on tour.
With the...
with Forget the Joneses.
Forget the Joneses.
I was out for almost 2 months.
Yeah. I think that's when you got off tour is when I met you, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It was like Easter or something
2005.
like that. Yeah, that's about right.
Yes. I remember I was driving in the car, woke up in San Francisco, drove through to Seattle.
Damn.
And as we crossed this hill, we dropped down into Seattle, and you could see the Space Needle and all of that. And during that moment, I was talking on the phone with my wife, and she was having a real hard time with me being gone. Yeah. And she said, "I'm not talking about getting a divorce, but..." I don't remember what was said after that, but...
Well, she had a toddler, right?
Paris was about 1.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I basically had graduated college and went on tour.
See ya!
And... Yes.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
It's about the rough times that people go through, whether they're working. Some people just have jobs where they have to go away all the time, or you're chasing your dreams that don't pan out. Or
so, are you part of the group of people that don't like to talk about what the song means, like specifically, because you want the audience to get a chance to really think about it?
Some of these songs I'm not going to go into at all. This one, for years, my wife says, "Why don't I get a song? There's songs for every other woman that's ever been in your life." This is
your
half
song,
true.
babe.
This is half true. Well, I don't know.
Wait.
She wanted a song, and I'm like, I can't write another love song.
Right.
I'm not. It's not the place I'm in where I'm writing hooky love songs. And so I gave her the song. Like, here it is. Here's your song. Which, in one sense, it's one of the most meaningful songs on the album to me, way deeper than like All I Need to Know, which is a feel good love song, and this is a hard but actual meaningful love song. And I sent her the words like, "Here's your song," and she's like, because it's so dark. But those are the stories, the movies, that's what gets you, is not the I'm so warm with this feeling of love washing over me.
It's the Notebook.
The Notebook. So I wanted to explain this one as the song for Alex.
There you go. Awesome. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
I think you've changed keys at least once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're falling behind here. Do we want to stick with the Scotch, or do we want to go with the rye?
Let's go to the rye.
All right.
This song came together really quick too. I got a tube amp.
Yeah.
My first tube amp, and I went into the garage for 4 hours.
And
strung together a bunch of riffs I'd been thumbing on.
No, I've noticed that you. Thank you. That's good for now. You come up with riffs pretty quickly. But how about your vocal melody? And the thing about your vocal melody is that they always... I've got what do they call them? Earworms?
Earworms.
For weeks after you, read them. Even now when I'm listening to it, I wake up in the morning and I start singing one of your songs. I'm like, God damn it, Nick. How do you do that? So
my secret is I have at least a 1 hour drive to work.
Yeah.
And I record demos, just little iPad, crappy recordings, and then sing along in the car 1,000 takes.
Right.
And
I've
got a good memory. I guess if you got a good memory, you pick the 3 notes that you were great at mumbling on that one take, and then you build on that and just.
So you do it all by memory. You don't recorded yourself singing or anything like that.
Correct.
Wow. I guess there's something to that, because if it's good enough to stick in your mind, it's probably gonna make the cut.
And when we first recorded most of these songs, if I wasn't finished with lyrics, I did my mumble track.
Right.
Where I just said words.
Yeah, just keep the melody going, right?
Yeah, and then I'd show those to people. That's how I learned. Don't show. Most people aren't ready for a work in progress.
Right. They want to hear the polished, finished.
You show. What do you think of? What do you think of this song idea? And it's like, whoa, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Why? Well, mumbling went out in the '90s. Like, okay, never mind. You weren't ready. You weren't ready to judge. My raw material.
It's surprising how small the audience is. That people can actually give you a critique that's worth, it's specific to songwriting.
So this is Revolution. I wonder if I should explain. There's two stories behind this song, completely unrelated, jammed together.
Did this start as something else, or did it start as...
This song started... Well, the drums was an Arson Academy song. It was.
Is this, what was it, originally 23?
No, this was...
Flyover Country.
Well, yeah, that's what I named it. I don't even know if we named it. Well,
it was never actually finished written.
Yes. We'd written so much music and we wanted to record, and I told the singer, hey, let me do...
That's right.
Let me do a song. I'll help write a song since you've got like 10 songs to write. Let me try one. And then I wrote a song for this, and then
I like where it went. I like this version better than the original one.
We actually Oh no, I'm thinking of 23. This one I gutted. This was like a 5-minute song. I kept the drums and we chopped it from 5 minutes down to
whatever it is,
to 2.5, something like that.
Yeah.
And the main riff that I do in the beginning and the ending was a riff I actually wrote at least 15 years ago.
Is it a bass
just
riff?
For fun. It's the guitar and the bass are both doing it.
Yeah.
It's the very intro. The guitar plays the first pass, and then the guitar joins for the second pass.
Right.
I'll point it out at the ending. But yeah, I was listening to Dream Theater, and then.
Really? Oh, I'd never guessed that with this riff.
Yeah, it's my take on Under a Glass Moon for anyone who wants to Google that. Time for a drink. Here's a key change. There you go. I guess in the 10 seconds I have to talk about it, this song's about leaving San Diego and going on tour and finding people who like music out in the little small towns, combined with the weird kind of monolithic political community that termed where, especially in the punk world, where everyone was together, group think. And going out into different places away from groupthink and one-on-one conversations and
try to actually find your own belief system.
Yeah, talking with people who can articulate their belief systems without just repeating
what someone else tells them.
Well, this is what I heard word for word.
Right. So this one.
Someday it was called Doors of Steel for a couple years. Yeah. This is for my old classmate, Eileen, who was kidnapped on her way home from school. And no one has any idea what's happened to her. There were 3 girls taken around that period. And one of them, this was 1989. One of them was found like 5 years ago, living in a tent in this guy's backyard.
Oh, wow.
You're looking like you don't know the story.
No, I do. It's like, when you forget about some of the details and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot this is about from the person they found. It's his perspective, kind of.
This is
mixed with the idea of the memory, right?
Yeah. The idea of the Doors of Steel, one of the girls, the second girl who was kidnapped, was heard about the first girl and wrote a poem called Doors of Steel.
Right, okay.
And then she was the second one kidnapped, and then Eileen was the third one.
Gotcha.
And so this is, I was reading a lot about the parents. Every year they have a candlelight vigil. They do a walk from the school to where she disappeared, and thinking about, how they know she's not coming home, but when do you ever really admit that, and
Right.
kind of the mind game you go through
Right. Yeah, I can't imagine that at
of
all.
hope and how long hope lives, and
Yeah.
trying to, as much as I can, give respect to that viewpoint,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I've never experienced it, but I've at least heard their version.
Yeah, and it's one thing when it's news on the whatever radio, TV, but then you don't know that person. But when you know that person and you've had some experience with them, and you know the family, puts a whole different spin on it.
Yes.
Now, is this the one that? Oh, yes, thank you. We got a key change here.
I'm pouring more.
Good.
This is all I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Now, does my memory serve correctly that I heard this and you were kind of contemplating whether or not to put it on the
Yes.
album? And I said it has to go on the album.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I wrote this one, I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I had this little 3/4 guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That I helped. There's a lot of weird exotic chords that I do because I had a tiny guitar.
You can
And
actually do it.
I
Play
wrote,
it easier.
I wrote all kinds of weird things. And then when I got a full-size guitar,
You're like, ah, crap.
I'm like, oh crap! Well, I can't lose that now.
You gotta work hard to get it back.
And so I work hard to get it, and no one else I've ever shown my riffs to have ever tried to pick up on them. They're like, well, here's an easier way to do it. Here's an E? That's an E, right?
You're like, yeah, but that's
Yes.
not what I did.
So I wrote this. I was dating a girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wrote her love song.
And then,
And then the next day
but you showed it
she
to her. You
broke
played
up
it
with
for
me.
her.
No.
Oh no.
No,
That's right.
I've
You
never played
wrote
this
it.
for her.
You wrote it, and then the next day she broke up with you, and she
Yes.
never heard it.
Correct.
God, imagine if you'd have played it for her.
Wow.
Maybe what's the perspective on what would happen? How would your life turned
Every now and then I contemplate not staying with her, but
out?
what things would have been like if I'd have stayed in that
Right.
small town,
Right.
surrounded by religion and cow
Yeah.
patties.
You would have made it. You would have.
Yeah.
No.
That's I don't wish anything had happened any differently.
No. Yeah. You had to get out of there.
Yes. I'm not. I don't wish any ill will towards anyone with religious beliefs, but they're
It's
not.
just not your.
They're not for me.
It's not your cup of whiskey.
That's not my cup of whiskey. So.
To each their own, but
yes.
that's just not your jam.
Yes, it's time for a drink. There
think
is
it's
no
it.
key changes in the song.
It's all right. It's okay.
But there's a bass solo.
That's all right. So we had a change.
I did used to play this one with the band I moved down here, Severely Misunderstood.
That's
I'd
right.
come out from behind the drum set and play this on guitar.
And these are if I remember right, you said these were like the epic jams that lasted
Yes.
for
The first
10, 12
we
minutes.
recorded this song and it was 7 minutes and 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, you told me about the last chord you muffed, and it was like the feather in the eye.
Yeah.
Forever. Yes.
And so when we recorded this, I didn't muff any chords. When I
this-
did, we re-recorded.
We had the magic of Pro Tools and all the time in our.
Yes.
We had 4 years to get it right.
It wasn't a 7-minute take, and I muffed the second to the last chord, like let it go.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's a whole
Yes.
other thing.
But Tyler would come out and do a harmonica solo.
A harmonica solo.
Harmonica solo.
Wait a minute. Didn't you tell me it was it harmonica or it wasn't kazoo? No, it wasn't
No,
kazoo.
no. It was real instrumentation.
Okay, because harmonica's more real than
Yes.
than kazoo. So
And there used to be, I think, 4-part harmony on this song.
yeah, you had a girl in the band.
There's a girl in the
Yeah.
band, Tyler and his wife,
God, I would love to
and
hear that.
Andy.
Yeah.
So sorry, there was a 3-part harmony because I wasn't singing at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So the 3 of them sang. So I
Gotcha.
picked Tyler's lower harmony and added it to this album.
This one. Okay.
So I guess I can give him partial harmony attribution.
There you go.
Up next is 23.
Now we're at 23. Okay.
23 was definitely an Arson Academy song.
But it didn't sound anything.
It didn't
like
sound
this.
anything
Not
like
even
this.
Close.
No. It was a rock song.
Wait, did you borrow anything from the Arson Academy recording? That never saw the light of day.
No. None of
Other
the
than the
Arson
title.
Academy. Well, I wrote the song. This is the
This
one
is the
song.
one you did the vocal or the
Yes.
the lyric on, right?
I wrote the words and the melody and gave it to Caesar, and Caesar was very excited.
Right.
But we never
Yeah.
did
And
it
again,
as a band once.
yeah,
I think we
and-
played it in front of Cole, and Cole's like, next.
Yeah. No. And I think it's almost fortunate because your vocal melody and your vocal idea fits better with what you wrote than what that we had for Arson Academy. So
Yes, I changed. Yeah, I definitely made the guitar styling, riffs, everything my own, except for the bridge. The bridge is pretty exactly what Cole had written
gotcha.
with the walk up.
And then there's a very distinct, as we're hearing right now,
Yes,
a very distinct difference. And I remember the day that you recorded this.
yes.
I was miking it up, and I don't think I recorded at my house and
Miking what up?
the cello that is.
That's right.
And I remember my wife texting me while we were recording the cello, and she said, "Is that a cello?" I said, "Yes, it is a cello." And I think it was probably one of the only times she popped her head in the
Yes,
studio. And
the
said,
only time in 4 years
Yeah.
that she popped her head in the studio.
And so we knew we were onto something good when we got my wife in here
Yes.
listening to what you were doing. So
I rented a cello for a month. I said, I get a month to write a cello line to this song.
right, and I was shocked when you come up and I was like, "Do you know how to play cello?" and you pulled it off.
Ah, it's Pro Tools.
No.
I just play one note and
No.
you just draw it out like a piano.
No,
No, I played that.
no, you played it, yeah.
There's a video. You managed to pull out
Yeah.
the video camera and get the last 3 notes of the song.
I didn't know that you were going to stop on me like that.
Well, it was the end of the song.
Well, yeah, because I knew that totally.
Yes. This song, so the last song's about falling in love
Uh-huh.
with an ex-girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
This song's about falling out of love with a different ex-girlfriend.
So why 23? Just because it was what was named before?
It was... I don't remember what the name was before. This has been 23 for a while.
Yeah.
It's about being 23 years old and in love with being in love.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say everyone's like this. My nephew went through this exact same thing at the exact same age and was taking a lot of solace in the words to these songs.
Yeah.
The song was written about being 24 and coming out of the fog of the romantic notion of love as a feeling,
Yeah.
feeling overwhelmed and going, well, this is what life's about, is that feeling that isn't going to last.
Yeah.
And realizing that, no, it's not about the feeling, and you got to let that feeling go.
But that's, everyone knows that's gone through it. Your first love is crushing. It's like, it's the first time you ever experienced that deep of an emotion. And
Yeah.
it's your whole existence is wrapped around that experience. And it's a good thing to have. God damn it, that keeps going.
Wow. Well, while Liam takes
Check
a
it.
break, I
There you
will...
Just gotta tap the potentiometer a few times.
This is Throwing Shade.
Throwing Shade.
The
This
gu-
is the newest one, right?
Yes, the guitar, the verse progression. I was screwing around with that on the couch 10 years ago, but to fill it in for a complete song and a melody, I've had the desperately wanting faith, hope, and love. I had that we actually raw tracked this one at the beginning
Oh, dude.
in 2013, but I couldn't get it working, and it
Yeah.
wasn't until a month ago my daughter Audrey kept saying, I love that song, I love that
Really?
song. And
It's the one that in the last, I guess, month, I've been waking up just humming it. I'm like, God damn it.
good. good.
But yeah, it's one that just keeps coming back and back. That melody just keeps, like I can't get it out of my head.
Cool. This song, I'll explain this one. I turned off Facebook,
Oh,
deactivated
yes.
my account a few months ago. And this song is about getting back in touch with people on a face-to-face. So much. I could talk for hours about how aggravating Facebook is, but it's algorithmically made to make you mad. So you're there, engaged, clicking, generating ad revenue. and they're studying how to make you mad. They're studying how to measure how mad you are. It's all about keeping you infuriated.
And keeping you on their side. Yeah.
Making the people in your life seem like they're saying things they're not. And if you just sit down at a bar with a beer in your hand, you're not saying the same things to each other that Facebook makes it seem like you're saying.
I always felt that Facebook is like, it's the equivalent to the way people treat each other when they're in a car and they don't know the other person.
Yes.
You know, people just turn into these just enormous assholes if that's part of their personality. It's just a personality amplifier.
Yes.
So I think Facebook is the same way. It's just this personality amplifier.
Yes.
You know, and it picks out the most inflammatory part of your personality and runs with it if you let it. So I have an account, but I don't really do much.
Yeah. And that's fine. It's not like you got to get rid of it, but if you find yourself sitting there for hours a day or a week mad,
it's a black hole. You got to definitely have some control over self-control.
I think you should give me some Unbound,
All
please.
Right. Yes, sir. And this is a bottle that Nick got for me for being part of this thing. Oop.
Oh, no, that's a lot.
That's not nearly enough. And I thank you very much for this bottle.
Sure.
And that's been kind of our deal. I think that's what I've so far my recording compensation for most of my artists have been in whiskey mostly.
Nice. This song is a great example of me not explaining the inspiration that I steal my inspiration from. They say that I'm going to butcher it now, but basically good people borrow ideas, geniuses steal.
Yeah.
So I will frequently lift a bass line or a progression or something, and then you build 5 layers on top of that, and it's completely unrecognizable. Yeah. If I actually told people what they were, you'd go, okay, that bass line underneath, okay, yeah, that's exactly, and I think I played it for you, and you're like, oh yeah, complete ripoff. But then you turn all the other layers on, and it disappears.
Yeah, because I don't really hear it as a song. I don't hear like, oh, that makes me think of this band. But if I just listen to the bass line, and it's probably wrong, I hope it's wrong, my first instinct is to go to another San Diego band.
Wrong.
Wrong? Okay, so the bass
definitely
line...
not a San Diego band.
Okay, it reminds me of...
Swedish band.
Really? But the bass line reminds me of... who was that? The singer that died recently, a San Diego band. Was also in the one with Guns N' Roses guitar player. Velvet Revolver.
Scott Weiland.
Yes, what band was he originally?
Stone Temple Pilots.
Thank you, yes. That's where I would go.
Yeah.
And then see, that's what it reminds me of, and it's not it. So there you go.
I'm starting to feel drunk. I think we should, I'm going to kick another one, because I'm not saying stupid stuff yet.
Oh, okay.
This song, Heroes in Apathy.
Apathy.
I wrote it I saw an old lady in the Home Depot parking lot.
Bullshit.
She looked hard, weathered.
Was she looking for work?
No, she was just walking from her car into the store.
Likely story.
But her face told a story.
The lines in her face.
And so I wrote a song about her, and I couldn't get it across the finish line. And this song almost didn't make it on the album.
Really?
Because I couldn't get it across the finish line vocally or lyrically. And then, I guess skipping a lot of the detail, this version's about end-of-life care for an elderly woman, someone I know, a not a relative of mine, but I know the person who's related to this people, and just how you treat a 90-something-year-old woman who needs more and more help, has months or years of quality life ahead of her, but needs diapers changed and constant care, and has 15 kids, and they're all, half of them are counting the inheritance in the seconds until they pilfer, and one main person who's taking care and obviously the person who's getting taken care of is getting all the rewards in paper, and all the other assholes are fighting.
Figure out how they can...
So I don't go into any of that in the song. It's just
your typical rock and roll song,
It's just vaguely about, end of life care and how we're going to treat our parents.
Yeah.
And those decisions.
People's legacy and how they.
Some people are going to be heroes, and some are going to count the days until the payday.
Right.
And this is a song for the one lady who is, in this one particular story, is the hero. And her asshole.
So the apathy part, meaning, people, who haven't read a dictionary, apathy, meaning like you have this sense of not caring about somebody, not caring about the situation. And I'm assuming that's what you're getting at, is that people are just waiting for the payday, and who cares how your life is at the end of it. Yeah.
Yes. Where can we ship her off that's cheap?
Right. Yeah.
What state facility can we get her into? She can't live with me, but she can't she can't waste her train her account.
Right. But they're their first in line when it's time to cash in. Yeah.
Yes.
This one. I remember this one.
Wasted Dreams. I wrote this guitar line, I think I was in high school when I wrote the chorus chord progression.
Really?
I am so proud of that progression.
You should be.
And you can't hear it at all on the track.
Why? Because
the melody takes over, the singings take over. You can't hear the intricacies of what I'm doing.
That part?
No, not that part.
Okay.
Should I grab a guitar?
Of course. There's the acoustic guitar behind the door on the outside.
Oh, I gotta get up.
I know.
Thrill him with the story.
Okay. I'll tell the part that I remember the most is when I first heard this song was when we were doing the drum tracks, and Nick decided to bring out the chopsticks, drumsticks, and then started playing with the snares off, and I was like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about the choices you're making right now? And then it's one of those things when, again, when I'm recording the drums, I've never heard the song before, and it's one of those things, I actually can hear it pretty well. And when it's all come together, when those first hits, come together, it's like, wow. It just sounds huge.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a hard, because all these songs, I wrote them obviously one part at a time.
Right.
And I'd roadmap it on guitar, and I'd go, okay, this is the intense part, this is the not intense part, and then go add drums and bass accordingly. Road mapping it in your head, and then coming up with it, writing in the studio.
As easy as it sounds, folks. This is, when you're the sole artist of all the instruments, and you have to put it all together. And probably why it took 4 years to do is that you didn't have the luxury of being able to bounce ideas off of other artists. You just had to do it all kind of one piece at a time, and then record it, and then you're like, no, I can do this, I can do that. So it just takes a while to get there.
I know I tried doing this song as a duet with Jose.
Yeah.
And I had him do this chord structure while I did the guitar solo, and he's like, that doesn't fit. That note doesn't fit. And I'm like, that's fine, because I was doing a walk up, and the structure's doing a walk down. It's like, that third note's garbage. And I'm like, well, it's on the album.
So suck it.
Yes.
So play it.
So basically, I'm holding two notes. I'll do a YouTube instructional video, but I'm doing a walk down on the high E string and a walk up on the D string.
Right. Counterpoint.
Yeah,
right?
counterpoint. But holding the two in the middle. Oh, I'll actually play along this next pet.
There it is. What? There you go. We can totally hear that.
I can't really hear the track when I'm playing.
That's all right. You're doing
and I'm
perfect.
drunk.
That's right.
I didn't know I was drunk until now.
Now you know if you didn't know. You're doing it perfect.
Because that chord, you never would have wrote that chord.
No. That's some Randy Rhoads shit right there. But it works.
Yes. This song's about being a dad and valuing things that of dad values while raising a child who values different things. And
Gotcha.
realizing that you can both be right.
Right.
That what I think's important is not necessarily contradictory. I just have to be patient.
It's two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Both true.
And yes, realizing that I just need to shut up more.
Which is hard to do when you've got children.
Yes.
Run away.
Run away.
As fast as you can.
This song, possibly the song that started it all, in Arson Academy.
Really?
One of...
Wait, we got a drink. It's
Oh, drink. My,
God damn
my
you.
cup is empty.
Yes. Should we drink scotch or rye?
I'm going to have rye.
Okay. I'll do scotch.
This song, well, Davey
Yes.
was singer for, what, 2 months?
Something like that.
Something
before he
like
got-
that.
He's like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to go get my PhD
Yeah.
through you guys.
And so most of the people in Arson Academy, pretty much everyone but me, said, I'm going to be the singer.
Oh, yes. I remember. This is where that came from?
Yes.
We
and
all had
so,
an attempt at
yes,
writing our
so
own song,
I said,
right?
okay, everyone who thinks they've got time to be the lead singer, go write a song.
Right.
And I threw down the gauntlet. I said, if you think you've got the time, if you want to go in for consideration, write a song, come back next rehearsal with your song. And I wrote this song.
Which is a great exercise, actually. I enjoyed that.
I think so.
I think we all came up with some good stuff.
Yes. And obviously the band didn't use any of it because there's only one songwriter
Yeah.
when it comes to musical structure, and anything that didn't come from that songwriter, I think, got weaseled out.
Yeah, it got the kibosh, yes. Which we learned to deal with.
Yes.
For what it was, I think it worked, and
Yeah.
you know,
I'm very proud of the catalog.
yeah, no, definitely, no, I'm proud to
We
be part of it.
accomplished much and crashed and burned without a great story. This song is about back to what we were talking about earlier, growing up around religion, finding religion in my life for a while, in a place where everyone was either impregnating their girlfriend in the orchard, shooting heroin, or praising Jesus,
Or all three.
or combinations of the three.
As you do.
I picked the one that was the easiest to walk away from.
The heroin.
No,
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, I see.
It's real easy to
Which
walk
one's
away
more
from
addictive,
Jesus.
or heroin?
I gotta believe heroin.
I don't know. There's how many billions of people that would argue that?
Yeah, but they're not trying to. It's
They're not trying to
real
kick
easy.
ya.
You're not trying to kick it.
They're killing people to keep their beliefs.
yeah,
right?
but they're not. They're not trying to kick it.
All right.
I'm not saying they're not monsters.
Okay.
We're just purely from an addictive
Okay.
thing. When you kind of go, wait a minute, that's not making any sense. Then you just kind of, it's
Yeah.
like stopping cold turkey.
It's yeah.
But you don't, there's parts of it you miss.
Yeah.
It's very
Community,
alluring.
for sure.
Community, thinking through things, talking
Wait, you're saying
about
Christianity?
Christianity.
Thinking through things?
When I say thinking through things, it's thinking through, asking myself in a group of people, how is Nick as a person? Is Nick a good person
Gotcha.
today? What does that
Kinda-
mean?
Kind of comparing it or lining
Yeah.
yourself up with the moral compass. Yeah.
That was what 90% of religion was to me,
Right.
was a discussion on what does it mean for us here having this conversation, be a good person.
Gotcha.
And you can't fault that.
No.
It's not really, it's kind of a weird thing to do outside of religion. You're certainly not as a chess club.
Yeah.
You're going to go play video games at your friends and
Yeah.
so do you think I'm a good person?
Yeah.
I'm wondering and just trying to think through it.
Yeah. Doing it on your own is tough. You know, it's very hard.
So,
Spectrum.
But, yeah. So,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. That song was about me leaving religion.
Gotcha.
Spectrum.
So, are you atheist now? Just so people are wondering, or do you want to not leave that alone?
That's a whole other podcast.
Okay.
Somewhere between
into that one later, folks.
agnostic and atheist.
Okay, I'll buy that.
I don't know if there is a God, but I strongly believe that Christianity is not accurate.
Right. Okay, I'll buy
So
that.
to say atheist usually means, like, say, middle of the road, I don't know, I don't have an opinion. I've got a lot of opinions.
Right.
But those opinions don't mean there can't possibly be something out there that science can't measure.
Yeah. It's like Buddhism. It's like, that's not our topic of discussion. We're just going to talk about how it is to live. We'll worry about the whole God thing later.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
That's where I'm at. Spectrum. Spectrum wrote this...
Not speculum, but
90, 97 or so. Most of the music for this.
You weren't even alive in 97.
I was 3.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, look at my song I wrote. That's nice,
The words, I watched...
What does speculum mean, Mom?
I'll tell you when you're older.
I watched Breaking Bad.
When you were 3?
No, sorry. This is me writing the words.
Okay.
I wrote the words like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And the melody. I had another melody. This actually was a love song for a while. No, this was a falling out of love song.
I'm sensing a thing with you, Nick.
Yes. It was called Hindsighted, and I got rid of all of that.
That's what this used to be. Okay,
Yes.
now I remember, yeah.
But I binge watched all Breaking Bad in 2 weeks.
God damn, that's right.
And this song, I was carried away with the harshness of the relationship between the main character and his wife. And this is probably the most artificial song I've written, in that it doesn't come from any place of honesty in my life. Other than being swept away by that emotion, I Google searched breaking up with an abusive person, a man who only thinks of himself.
Right.
And what's that experience like to break up with someone like that? What are the pitfalls?
Right.
And I read a few essays on that and put that into this song.
So this is your murder ballad, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily murder. It's about being in love with someone who doesn't know how to value others.
Gotcha.
Or value what other people think, and trying to fall out of love and get away from that.
And I think sometimes those are the hardest songs to write, because you're writing from just an observation. You're not pulling from anything that's coming from your own life. Those are sometimes harder.
Yes. But I'm pretty proud of it, and I've shown it to many people, and everyone's had a strong emotional. Because it's generic enough to, I don't say, and then he beat me and cut me.
Yeah.
It's just about being with someone who treats you badly.
Right.
And we've all had varying degrees, whatever treat you badly means.
Right.
Either getting beat up or just not
Feeling
lavishing
betrayed
you
or-
with the praise that you want to have.
Right.
And so it's a universal thing.
Yeah. Fake news.
Fake news.
What's that all about? Let me
Fake
guess.
news is about one guy named Alan. The only person in my life who's been consistent. As I get older and older, I watch the political spectrum swing back and forth. From Clinton to Bush to Obama to Trump. Watching
The pendulum swing.
this pendulum swing and how everyone responds, and something that's completely unacceptable become completely acceptable just based on whoever's the party's in charge doing
Gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
And there's one guy named Alan who was beyond all that. Which is not to say I agree with everything he says. He's just as kooky as anyone I've ever seen.
But able to find his own true
But
center.
yeah, his kookiness doesn't, if politician does X, he doesn't need to know if it was Obama or Trump.
Right.
He's going to have a consistent answer to whether that was completely unacceptable or whether it's probably just a fake attack and it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Which is hard in these days now.
Yeah.
Everyone's so partisan, and it's like whatever party is in charge, then it's either you have this camp of they're totally right or they're totally wrong for whatever reason.
So yeah, depending on who's in charge, you either watch the news to find out, again, constant reminders of how terrible things are or how great things are.
Right.
And we're all wired that way. We all can get exactly what we want, and that's what what this song is about is me watching him wanting to be more like that. Wanting to be more...
Tip of the hat to someone who's kind of true to their own self.
Yes. And again, he believes a lot of stuff that I don't believe or agree with. But
he's not swayed by whatever
yes.
bullshit's going on in the media. He's like, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
It may not believe, be the same as what you believe, but I'm sticking to it regardless what the rhetoric is going
Correct.
on at the time. Yeah.
Correct. The name of the person doing the act doesn't determine.
Gotcha.
That doesn't quantify the act. The act is the act. He's big in natural law, and I get natural law. The idea that a law, something should be legal or illegal based on who we are as humans. Does that hurt people, or is that meant to make someone money? Like someone's trying to pass a law saying it should be illegal for kids under 13 to own smartphones.
Right.
My daughter just turned 13. She just got her first smartphone. I agree with it, but should that be a law?
Right. Yeah.
We could talk all day about how this is my libertarian album. Unbound.
These songs are too short, man.
I didn't think they were too short.
Your concepts are so much bigger than the song themselves.
We gotta drink so fast. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be horking by the end of this one.
So you may have to sit on the couch for a while. Huh? Unbound.
My friend.
You don't have a friend, do you?
My friend had.
It's Unbound.
He got cancer. And this song is about being too young to think about your friends who are about your age dying of cancer. And the Unbound visual is, well, we spend our lives binding our lives together. Our lives are defined by who's in them, and the idea of me having to move on. Separating, unbinding my life from someone else's life after decades of building our lives together as friends, contemplating, continuing.
So, what's the process of unbinding for you? What are you trying to do there? Are you saying how do you basically? So, what I'm getting from that is how do you live your life, not whatever contact you have with them, like if it's daily, is it weekly, whatever. You're kind of loose, or what's the word I'm looking for? You're learning to live without their presence in the world.
This song was written, and he since has kicked it and has come back. So this is contemplating the mortality and the how do I prepare myself. So this is a question, not an answer.
Gotcha.
I don't know how. As we get older, the number of people in our lives who die is going to dwindle. Both my parents are still alive, so I have not gone through yet the earth-shattering loss.
Right.
But when you're faced the mortality of someone close to you, those are the kinds of questions you ask. So this is I guess basically the one-sentence version is the how am I going to get on with life without this person? So I don't have the answer. This is just the question.
Gotcha.
The fear that everyone feels when they some people go quick.
Gotcha.
My wife's friend from high school just passed yesterday, I believe.
Oh wow.
She was hit in a crosswalk.
Oh jeez.
And I don't know how many days she was in the hospital, but didn't make it. So some people you're caught completely off guard, and
some you get a little more.
And some people, we can talk forever about which is harder, but I gotta imagine being with someone and knowing, all right, this is the last 6 months, this is the last 5 months, this is the last week. I went through that with my grandmother, who she was 90, and it wasn't devastating because we were all thankful she got as much time as she got, being completely mentally competent and quality life. But still going, okay, this is the last week of her life. What do I say? How do I prepare?
Yeah, it's definitely the differences between being able to kind of get your chance to say goodbye and kind of, go through all the, closure of, saying the things you want to say and getting a sense of you've kind of wrapped up your feelings with that person before they pass, and instead of where someone just leaves, they get taken from you suddenly, you don't get the chance to, kind of go through that whole process.
I wrote the I wrote that years ago, and most of the rest of the most of the rest of that I was at a party for my wife, her friends, people I didn't know, and it was Easter, and the kids were doing happy kids things, and all my wife's friends were doing happy friends things, and I went upstairs and there was a guitar. And I'm like, yes,
the song was born.
Something for me. And the end of that was Unbound, minus the
that part,
minus that riff.
Wow.
So I think we're at the end of the album.
I know. I feel like you need more songs, man.
Yeah.
We got more to talk about.
I think we can go back to the podcast per song.
Yeah.
Because I could easily talk for an hour on each song.
Yeah, easily.
We didn't go into recording at all.
No. That's the thing of it, there's just so much to each song, not only the the meaning of the song itself, but all the history or the process of creating the song and writing the song and recording the song. Yeah. We could definitely easily do a podcast on the one song easily.
All right. Well,
so, my friend.
So cheers. I'm sending the songs off for submission. I'm submitting them to the Apple Store tonight.
Nice.
I'm sending them off for duplication tomorrow. And then by the end of next year, I should have 30 or 40 sales.
Yeah.
And
and we'll reap the rewards.
We'll spend all this money on my cover album.
I'm getting 0.5% on this, all right? What's my cut on this?
What's my residuals?
It's my residuals. Let me my residuals. Well, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a journey in many ways. And I thank you for including me in your journey.
Surely. Thank you for making my journey technologically possible.
Well, I do what I can.
Well, all right.
All right.
I'll see you on the internets.
On the internets, kids. Peace.